And given that we all feel excited about entrepreneurs, I mean the word entrepreneur versus manager, immediately entrepreneur excites you, right? Who is your favorite entrepreneur? Why? Let's start with you. Why did you get into digital marketing?
Yes.
Any favorite entrepreneur of yours?
I have a couple of people.
Okay.
First is my dad.
Okay.
So he runs his cooking oil import and export.
Okay.
He has very good beef plan idea. He is very good. Only thing where he lacked is marketing.
Okay.
So he was doing a small scale marketing, pitching to the people, but he doesn't know what happened in digital marketing. When I started taking care of my dad's business, I started importing products from Dubai and from other countries by taking these numbers.
Okay.
So one thing I understand is there are many entrepreneurs, they have very good qualification, but then they were lacking somewhere. So I can bridge the gap between entrepreneurs and their clients as a marketing head. And second guy is Kripa Shankar, who is head of online blogging. You heard about him?
Online blogging?
Yeah.
Okay, never heard.
He was a very good online blogger. So whenever I meet him, first question what he'll ask is, you have a good product, bad product. That's not a matter. When you are very good at your marketing, when you know you can sell your product, give me a sand, give me a cup of sand, I can sell it for ₹1 million. So that kind of vision, I got trained. He is one of my very good mentors. So these people, started, inspiring me. And I am a mobile freak. So whenever I play any game, some banner will come in between to disturb me a lot.
Right.
So then I decided, okay, this is my place. So customer have more interaction towards here, so I can put other people ad over here. So that is how I started my innovation.
Okay. Dean, I need 3 hours because these are the discussions I have in the first class of my marketing 101, So I guess I can just go on and on, but let me not do that. Let me go to someone else. Yes.
I'm not an entrepreneur. I come from an organization which fosters entrepreneurs in the social segment.
Which
I
one?
come from IITM's Rural Technology and Business Incubator.
Okay.
RTBI.
Fantastic.
So, talking about a favorite entrepreneur is something difficult because all our entrepreneurs are like kick-ass. They have started their companies in the rural domain. They come with ideas to make a marked difference in the rural and the social segment.
Right.
So, the overall mentor Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala and of course our director Suma Prashant, these are some of, they are our favorite mentors, let's put it that way.
Okay.
And some of our entrepreneurs are my favorite. I don't know if people have heard about a lady called Saloni. She started a rural BPO called Desi Crew, where she employs women from rural areas, and outsourcing goes there. She's gotten trained. They've got some 5 centers there. So basic BPO work gets done there. There's a central repository here, and so it's like a rural BPO.
Okay. How did she spot that opportunity? Have you ever spoken to her about that?
Well, along with Professor Ashok, of course, that there are women, there are people who've young girls who have got educated. They've got a bit of education, but then they would obviously like to work, but then given the scenario, they're not sent out to work.
Okay.
So just with a bit of and women and anyone in the rural area, you'll find a lot of passion there because they want to make a difference to their own lives.
Okay.
And what we would say as 3,000 or 4,000 rupees per month makes a lot of difference to them.
Right.
So they're willing to get trained and.
Okay. Wow. Fantastic. Social entrepreneurship. What about that? Is that part of being a really cool entrepreneur, or is that something different? Less money making. Is that something that crosses our mind very often, or it's something that is good, but we don't want to do it?
I'm in the domain. I think it's kick-ass.
You think it's kick-ass? What about the others? What do you think of social entrepreneurship? You won't make too much money, but yes.
Okay. Once you're done with that, maybe I wouldn't really agree with you.
Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. You can disagree with me, but yeah.
Well, I think in whichever area you choose or whichever your passion is to build a business, I think you can be socially responsible and you could contribute a lot. So I don't think it necessarily has to be a social project.
True.
But I think any project could contribute if you are conscious about it and if it's something you feel about. And I think it's important that we understand everything we see around us, talking about society.
Right.
We are connected to how much we say no, but it's all a chain. So
It is, and I agree. Being socially responsible and being profitable are not divergent goals. They can go together. They are in the same path. And of course, given that we all think in boxes, right? Given that we all think in boundaries, we try to put them in different boxes, right? Social entrepreneurship is about working in villages or working with poor people, right? Kick-ass entrepreneurship is about doing cool things and making a lot of money or something like that. I didn't mean to say that social entrepreneurs are poor or they don't make money, but that's the way we see it, right? The moment we say social entrepreneurship, it's basically different. It's about making the society better. Maybe money is not the only motive or something like that. So that was my intention. Not saying that they cannot make money. But yeah, we want to talk about that too. One more person. Who's your favorite entrepreneur? Yes.
My grandfather.
Okay.
We brief when he was young, he used to count rupees and 1 to 10 rupees and he used to keep in a box.
Okay.
And later, in his mid 50s or 60s, he had few persons to count the money he earned.
Wow. Okay.
So the passion is like he don't want to be an employee.
Right.
He want to give employment to others.
Okay.
And the places, he lives in Chennai, he basically don't know what's out of Chennai. We went to Bangalore and he established a group. Then it's like he started a company where it's like it's a community of all branded home appliances.
Okay.
Then from nothing to big thing.
Nice. Nice.
I really like, no, whichever we spend, he thinks a lot. If I invest in this, will I get some return? And he, whenever I did my schooling or in my college, in my holidays, I used to go and sit in his chair.
Okay.
I used to do business.
Wow. Okay.
I asked him to take the rest. He's really
So you've taken over his business now? I mean, do you?
No, now my uncle is.
Okay. Okay. Nice. One more favorite entrepreneur. One more favorite business person of yours who has started a business from scratch and now he's doing all kinds of things and he's your favorite. I have a follow-up question, so I'll ask you that but before that I need to know all the favorite entrepreneurs.
It's nothing like you need to start a business on which take about Warren Buffett, you start a business as investment.
Right.
So every penny we invested, these are big opportunities, commodities which has growth.
Right.
It increases population, so it has a vision. So he invested a lot of money when he got a money, and now he became once he was in biggest number one billionaire. And now he turned into a social entrepreneur by donating much of his amount to
Most of it actually.
yes, most of
95% of his wealth will go to charity.
Field against foundation.
It's just amazing, Warren Buffett.
He proved himself and he now became a social entrepreneur helping the poor.
One of my cousins, he's a professor at University of Nebraska, right? And University of Nebraska is where Warren Buffett, studied and all that stuff. His house is there, and my cousin took me around in the car, and we were driving around, and then he showed me a small house, a 3-bedroom house. There was nothing there. The car there was an old Buick, right? And then the house was very normal, and then he said, "That's Warren Buffett's house." In a normal circumstance, unless you see that there is a security guard there, you wouldn't even know that it belongs to the second richest guy in the world. He has $46 billion, right? So he can buy the entire country if he wants to. But that's the kind of simple life he lives. It's very interesting. He still drives by himself. He goes to the local hotel and eats his lunch or dinner and things like that. So it's very interesting, how he lives. So he's a class apart compared to everyone else. But one of the interesting things that I noticed is when I asked that question, right? I was hoping that you would say Steve Jobs or Richard Branson or Mark Zuckerberg or Tony Hsieh, all these the big guns who have started and created billions and billions of dollars of companies. I'm actually kind of surprised that I've heard more grandmothers and grandfathers and people doing business in villages. I guess that's the difference. That's a fabulous trend that I'm noticing. I've been talking to the dean about that. as I taught, over a period of 10 years in the US, every year I've noticed a big difference in terms of what students look for, right? My original batch of students, which was in 2004, was more about like me, big guys, make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. But as I progressed, right, I saw that, students are more like you, who want to do good, who don't necessarily see that, being socially responsible is against making profit, or, thinking differently, completely differently. And this is a good example of that, where when I asked for your favorite entrepreneurs, you gave the examples of completely unknown people, right? These are people who are making a difference in their own spheres of life. And probably very few people know about it, but that's okay, because that's not the point. The point is to make a difference, as someone said. By being an entrepreneur, you're changing the world in your own small way, and that's the best part of it, right? So, my question is, if you were to invite your favorite entrepreneur to come to your, let's say, house or office or place of work, and give you 3 big lessons that you will carry for the rest of your life, what would those be? What would you expect your favorite entrepreneur to do to you in terms of mentorship? Have you ever thought about that? If you want your favorite entrepreneur to become your mentor, right, what would you expect from that person?
Well, erase your fears.
Erase your fears?
Yeah.
Okay, how would that happen? Let's say I put you up with Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
How would Steve Jobs help you erase your fears?
See, I mean, he did things that, for example, he had an idea, he thought it was right, and he said, this is right. I mean, example of, I think it was the first Apple computer, and somebody asked him, what's his product? Have you done any research on what the people want? He said the people don't know what they want. I'm giving them what they want. So he had this, unshakable almost self-belief, and he stuck to it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I think.
So that's something that you want to learn.
Yeah, I mean, because it's the toughest thing. You have a job. I mean, doing fairly all right. You're comfortable, but take that step and go and do something.
Go to the next level.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, because you have a young family, so it's a big step. So that I don't know what it is, but
No, it's a difficult thing to do, right? So I completely agree. That's a good point. Anything else? What would you like your mentor to tell you or train you?
It's like, am I on the right track? Is this something that will really add benefit to me? Because he's a successful person who has already been seen in all this business and how it can be done.
Right.
So if I'm trying something new, maybe I'm asking him whether this really works out. Because something, it's like a new business for me, and he can guide me like, okay, fine, you are taking the right step, let's move forward.
So you want him to handhold you and tell you that you're going in the right direction, you're doing okay, something like that. Basically, make sure that you're in the right path. As simple as that. Okay, fantastic. Something more from here? If you were to ask your favorite mentor, what do you think?
Whenever we turn back, just push us towards the road of success.
So not let you
Move back.
give up.
Yeah.
Not let you give up.
And guidance for life, not only for that particular time period, for like whenever we have we lose something or we miss out something, guide us.
Okay. Do you go to your professors to do that, or that's not a good group? Has anyone ever gone to your professor and asked for these kinds of things? Because ideally, I'm guessing professors are supposed to do that. Don't say no, because I'll feel bad. So, has anyone ever gone to your professor and asked him to give you these kinds of positive, messages?
very few can do that, but there are a few.
Okay.
Sure.
How about the others? Has anyone ever gone to their professor and said, Professor, I'm feeling bad, can you help me? Or Professor, can you help me, or can you tell me if I'm going in the right direction or not? Yes.
My teacher did a better thing.
Okay.
He told me only one thing. Even today I have that in front of my eyes.
Okay.
He said, the game is not over until it's won.
Something like what they say in cricket, right? So, the game is not over till the last ball is bowled or something like that. Okay. Sure, that's a good point. Anyone else? what would you like your favorite mentor to do? Or what would you like your favorite mentor to help you with?
I think his presence would also motivate us. His presence.
Just the sheer presence?
Yeah. So it would motivate that he's great. Right? He's my mentor. So I'm following him. So he's done some great things. So his whatever he's done to the society or to whatever to himself, right? So that motivation also would drive me to achieve.
How many of you want to become entrepreneurs in this room? There are some entrepreneurs, but how many of you foresee or how many of you are motivated enough to become entrepreneurs? That's a good number. It's a really good number. So here's my question.
How many of you are thinking to become entrepreneurs? Yes, I expected that.
So let me ask a follow-up question. How many of you tried and failed?
Because,
Go ahead, you're saying something and then I'll talk to them.
no, that was the biggest thing. If 100% people will have an idea to start.
Right.
I always say to my students, you always have ideas, but then no one is coming forward one step. Okay, let me try. So
What do you think is the problem, apart from parents?
I never see, 80% parents are not at all the issue. Like when you do something good, when you do something out of box, obviously they're not going to stop you unless you do something wrong. But then what students or what the individual thinks that they themselves think that we don't have time. So that was a basic level of anyone okay, I'm already stuck up with these things. Why should I do something where I'm going to get myself?
Right.
So when they don't have that thought, when they come forward, okay, let me try. I don't care if it's going to lose or if it's going to do something, but I'll just give it a try. That point definitely,
So what does it take to push someone to do that?
good mentor.
A good mentor?
A platform where you can enhance your vision.
A platform where you can enhance your vision? Let me come back to you with that question, okay? There are two people who raised their hands when I said how many of you tried and failed. Would you like to venture and explain as to what that venture was, what your startup was about, and looking back in hindsight, any two big reasons why you think that startup failed? Can you, Anju, can you give the mic? Because I myself am a failed entrepreneur, so let me come out and say that. Which one? Yeah, and when I talk to my students, so first time when I spoke to my students about a few mistakes that I did in my life, I didn't tell them that these were my mistakes, but I told them you have to do this to succeed. They said, how do you know? You never worked in the corporate. I said, I know, but I tried a venture and it failed, and I know why it failed. So, after that, no one ever asked that question, right? So, anyway, please go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Vamsi.
Okay.
I started my own company in the year 2008, and I was fresh out of college. I had an offer in hand. I got a job in Cognizant, but the economy was bad, so I had a lot of time, and I was thinking about opportunities, and somehow I wanted to start a business or something that struck me.
Okay.
So I worked with a team of friends. We started a small company. We searched like hell. We got a project where we have to do upselling for a company called Bell Canada. Bell Canada actually sells all these internet and TV subscriptions to the Canadians. So we got this thing, and the first mistake that I presume we made was we chose the wrong agent, or rather the wrong person to get this project from, because the original worth of the project would be $140 or something per sale, and we hardly got $40. So we chose the wrong person. We did not have the right contacts. My friends hurried me. I told them, just hold on, guys. We need some more time to check for the right business. But my friends were in a hurry, and I don't know what the reason was. That was the first start where we got a difference of opinion. So I was not a major stakeholder. Rather, it was an investment that my friends had made, and I had made a smaller investment. So they had the thing in their mind that come on, I made the investment, so I'm the boss. Though we were friends and all, still when it came to business, things didn't work out. I told them, see, things are not working out. You're not going to break even in 6 months or 1 year. And back then, it struck me that, come on, 6 months, this company is not going to survive. Yes, the company did survive for more than 6 months. It survived for 2 years. The company shut down and we made a loss of 14 lakhs. I made an investment of 1 lakh and I said, sorry guys, so for friendship, yes, 1 lakh, I made an investment, I said this will not work out. I moved out of the company. We are still good friends. And I'm a little happy that, okay, what I, forecasted has happened. But the thing is not at the cost of 14 lakhs, which they had, lost. So basically, two takeaways from my failed experience. One is choose the right partners. Two, spend time on what you want to do. Even if it is for 5 years or 10 years, choose a product or choose a venture that is actually going to work out. Not everyone can succeed like Mark Zuckerberg or Larry Page or whomsoever it is. So work on your product, know your product. Unless and until you know your product and know what you do, there's nothing like it. Marketing, be it operations, be it anything. Unless you're confident about your product, don't venture. That's my tip.
That's a fantastic advice. I saw one more hand go up when I said failed ventures. Please.
Hi, I am Ankit. We started this venture called Infinite Ideas around 10 months back with 3 co-founders.
Okay.
So one in Chennai and one in Bombay and one in US. All 3 were friends.
Nice.
So out of 3, which 2 were working, myself and one in Bombay,
Okay.
and one more girl, she was studying advertising.
Okay.
So basically it was branding consultants and marketing consultants for small entrepreneurs, like home entrepreneurs. We got 2 good offers.
Okay.
One was to develop collaterals and marketing process for exhibition thing, and the other one was to develop a temple brochure for temple, asking for donations for the people in US. So we did both the work, and out of which for the first project we got 60% of the money, and for the second one, the temple brochure, we got nothing. So, and then we had some kind of issues, and then we closed down.
Okay.
So 2 major takeaways, like one thing is miscommunication, like never have good means of communication, be it WhatsApp or Facebook or internet, or any Skype or anything. Just have good modes of communication with your other co-founders. And the other thing is never have 3 co-founders. Very difficult to.
Sorry, what did you say?
Never have 3 co-founders.
I would like to say it's not about co-founders. It's about you should never have friends as your partners.
Maybe third take.
And also, his problem was also the same. And this was taught by my mentor. Currently here, he is my mentor. I would probably like to say that.
So friends are not good.
No, it's not.
Not all.
Friends are not good. It's just that since they are your friends, they will take advantage of you. You can't even score.
Not always. Not.
You can't actually
that's
score them even if they do something wrong. You can't score because they are your friends.
We are soft corner for that.
Yeah, that's the point I would like.
That's the most contradictory statement I've ever heard. There are friends, they'll kill me. Something like that. But these are good points. When I went into business, I went into business with my cousin, a very close cousin of mine, my first cousin. We fought every day in the office. We almost killed each other. But at the end of the day, we used to live in the same place. So at the end of the day, we used to come home, play cricket with each other, and forget everything. So we eventually closed the business. It didn't matter. We are still very good friends. I mean, obviously we have cousins, but we are still very good friends, and we pretty much meet every day even now, right? So I guess it's just a different kind of dynamic. But okay, so looking at their experiences, and given that there are so many who want to venture out, who want to start your companies, right? Is there? Sorry, you have a.
I want to know what are the reasons for your failure.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Do you want me to give you a technical answer from an MBA jargon standpoint, or more on the ground kind of reasons?
I want the practical realities. What actually happened? Why did you?
I'll tell you there are 2 big reasons why we failed, right? One is working capital management. We were terrible.
What was the business about?
Sorry?
What was the business?
So we were dealers for. Has anyone heard of the company Thermax?
Yes.
Thermax, right? It's a huge environmental and of course energy company. So we were dealers in the water and waste management division. It's a huge division, and we were dealers for that for the entire region of Hyderabad and the surrounding areas, right? So we were doing well. My problem, or let's say our problem, was terrible working capital management. And you know the worst part, both of us had MBAs, okay, but still we were unable to manage our working capital. So we had a top line of around 4 crores, okay, but every month we used to struggle to pay salaries because the cash was burning out, as simple as that. So these are simple mistakes that we all do. So we reached a point where the company was pushing us to invest more, and then we didn't have the cash to invest. And all they said was, you know, you either merge with a different, different entity, or you get out. So we just decided to get out because we never wanted to work for someone else. As simple as that. So when I talk to my students and when I and the dean, you know, when we made the curriculum, one of the classes that we insisted should be there, no matter what, and this is based on experience of so many entrepreneurs that I talk to, right, is working capital management. Managing simple cash flow, right, is such a huge deal because most of us are not trained to do that. Most of us, especially and unfortunately, in most of the MBA programs, are taught to think about big things, right? Strategy, positioning, this, that. But then we are not taught to manage simple things like on the ground management of people, right? On the ground management or daily management of cash or monthly management of cash. And that can actually kill your business more than anything else. You can still get the big things right, but fail because of very minor issues. And sometimes the chemistry doesn't work out with the founders, or you have friends who are ready to kill you, so unfortunately, what can you do about it, right? It's just bad luck. So, right, so, anyway, so one of the questions that I would like to ask you before I transition out of this discussion is, we all start out with aspirations to become entrepreneurs. Many of us think that being entrepreneurs is exciting, and many of us have ideas in so many different domains and so many different ways, right? But then the general statistic, it doesn't matter which country, says that not more than 2% or maybe even 1% of typical management education graduates or any university end up becoming entrepreneurs. So in fact, even if you talk about schools like Stanford, which are ideally the hubs of innovation, right? I mean, this is where Google was born. This is where all these big companies have been born. The number of students who end up actually starting companies, successful startups, is barely 1% or even less than that, right? So that means all the other 99% end up becoming employees of corporates, as simple as that. Or maybe nowadays, the social entrepreneurship is becoming big, so maybe they'll become employees in social entrepreneurial ventures. Doesn't matter. So the question is, that it doesn't mean that you have failed in your aspiration of becoming an entrepreneur. You still are an entrepreneur inside. Not many of us are entrepreneurs inside. So the question is, given that that is the reality, that many of us, for lack of resources, for the lack of motivation, or for various reasons, end up not becoming business owners of our own, and we become employees of corporates. What would you do if you are an entrepreneurial guy or a lady, and then you are in a corporate? Have you ever tried to chart your own path inside the company? Is it difficult? It is really hard to do that? Or you're saying, you know what, I'm just looking at my time, someday I'm going to get out and then start my own company. What if I take an entrepreneur and then put that person in a corporate? What happens?
I haven't become an entrepreneur yet, but
Okay.
right from my college days, I was researching these mobile markets and